Hi all, I'm Dr. Trisha Peach, host of the Kidmin.Ninja, and I have been a hospice chaplain now for 5.5 months. What has changed? Well, I'm still doing kids ministry, I'm still speaking at some kids ministry events, things like that, so I still love kids ministry, family ministry, but I have been working as a hospice chaplain. I absolutely love what I get to do. I feel like it is a privilege. But I was thinking today of something that another hospice chaplain taught me, which is so true. And it is the principle of now and later. And what does that mean? I'm thinking in the news today, I saw just a sad story. It was beautiful, the love that this couple has for each other. But this woman and her husband, they're like 55 years old. And he was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's disease, and she's having to sell her house so that they can better take care of him. And she made the statement, "This is not what I thought retirement would look like for us." They had bought the house thinking this was going to be their retirement house. They were going to travel and do all of this stuff, and everything has shifted in her life. She's having to sell the house that they made for their retirement to take care of his needs. That's the way their life has shifted. I remember a couple several years back, that great Christian couple. They worked so hard for their retirement. They retired at 65. Their dream was to go travel all around the world. And they started on their dream. I think they were 3 months in, and she was diagnosed with a terrible disease, and she got the best medical treatment. The family was so supportive. For a while it looked like she was going to make it, and then she did not. She passed away, and that was a huge shock. So they did not get their dream for retirement. So this other chaplain was talking to me, saying that after all the years that he has worked as a hospice chaplain, one of the things that he will not do anymore is put everything back for retirement and then save all of his travel and dreams for retirement. And I said, well, so you don't save for retirement? And he said, no, it's a principle of now and then. So he said, I'm saving for retirement, absolutely, but I'm not waiting for retirement. So you're saving for retirement, but you're not waiting for retirement. What that means is you take those trips now, even while you're working. I remember my husband had the best view on this. He was right. He said, we're going to take the kids on that fantastic trip to Orlando, and we're going to see theme parks, and we're going to go do things. And I said, we don't have money for that. And he said, we'll never have money for that. It's like having kids. You say, well, I don't have money to have kids. You never will. So he said, the kids are only going to be little now. And we actually took 3 big family trips while they were small. And I have no regrets at all, because now they're adults, 22 and 20. That window of time passes, and then it's gone. People say it goes fast, but it's so much faster than you ever would believe. It's insanely fast, and I have no regrets. I have those pictures, I have those memories, and I have that. And I'm so glad we did that. Even though we were poor, we didn't have any more time to make those memories. So here's the thing. We make these assumptions that we should not be making. We assume that we're going to have this retirement. The average American lives to be 80. A woman lives to be 80. A man lives to be about 70. That's not a guarantee. That's the average. That does not mean we're guaranteed we're going to live that long. Nope. You could live a lot longer than that. You could live a lot shorter than that. Some of the friends I had passed away in their 30s or 40s, and it really is rattling when you see someone your age that passes away. as a kid, I watched that Rescue 911 all the time. And so I had it in my head, the ones that passed away on there, it's because they didn't make it to the hospital in time. So if they make it to the hospital in time, the doctor will know what to do and they'll save their life. And then when I got older and I had health insurance, it was a shock to me. I'd go to the doctor, and a lot of times the doctors did not know what was wrong. And I thought, how can you not know? I got to the doctor in time, and realizing that sometimes the doctors don't know. And then sometimes when they do know, there's nothing they can do. And of course, I'm a hospice chaplain, so I'm on that end of things. And as Americans, we like to pretend that death isn't going to happen. We want to pretend that it will never be us. Death is kept out of the spotlight. It's not seen in our video games. If you die, you just have tons of lives and you'll just respawn, not realizing that we all die. We're walking around in a biodegradable meat sack that is very fragile. It falls apart so easily. And the Bible says it's appointed unto man once to die, and after that, the judgment. So we all die. Also, we all, including myself, like to forget the words of James, where he says, do not say, tomorrow I will do this and I will do that. Tomorrow I will go here and I will do that. James says, you don't know that's going to happen. You should say, if the Lord wills it, I will wake up in the morning and go there and do this. If the Lord wills it, I'll get a retirement and get to retire and maybe write the book I've wanted to write. If the Lord wills it, if God grants it, you get to. Otherwise, our lives are in God's hands. Our times are in his hands, and we may not get 70 years or 80 years or 50 years or whatever. It is in his hands. And I think even at 103, we Americans, when we die, are always so surprised. It's like, really? I wasn't ready. I was only 103. How can this be happening? How could this happen to me? Yeah, so the principle of now and then is you start living the life you want to live now, and don't wait for retirement that may or may not happen. So if you feel like I really want to write that book, then that needs to happen now. That needs to be something you work on now. And later, if you get later, which you may not, you should work on the traveling. You want to travel? Let's do that now. And later if you get a chance. But you may not, so you might as well do it now. Jesus even said that. He said, why are you worrying about tomorrow when you can't even turn one of your hairs white or black or make yourself an inch taller or shorter? You can't change that. You can't predict it. Jesus also, remember the story of the man that said he was doing well at his business and he was building his businesses bigger and bigger. And he said, tomorrow I'll tear down those barns and I'll build even bigger and I'll have even more money. And Jesus actually refers to him as a fool, because he said, you're making all these plans and tonight your life is required of you. You're going to die tonight. And you've amassed all this wealth for someone else. They'll have it. You won't ever get any of it. You can't take it with you. So Jesus referred to him as a fool because he lived all of his life for his business and his money, and he never thought about his soul. He never once thought about getting right with God. And if I could just end with this, oh my goodness, that is another thing. People always say, well, I'll wait for a deathbed confession. I'll wait till I'm on my deathbed to get right with God and have this, great relationship with God. How do you know? That's a huge assumption. You assume you're going to have time for a deathbed confession, because a lot of people don't. They die in a car wreck. There is no time for a deathbed making things right with God. Or you're making a big assumption that you're going to be cognitively able to make things right with God when you're a certain age. How do you know you're not going to have early onset Alzheimer's or something to that effect? I don't often see people suddenly go, well, now I'm going to make things right with God. It does happen, and that's great. But you can't be assuming you'll have a chance for a deathbed confession and turnaround. What I see more is people that have just lived in a relationship with God that just continues all the way up till the moment of death, and it is a beautiful thing. And there are people that have deathbed experiences where they turn their lives over to God, but you shouldn't be assuming that you will be granted that, or that you'll be healthy enough to do it. That's the other thing. Maybe you'll still be alive when you're 70, 75, but what if your health is not so great that you can go travel or write that book? So yes, we save for retirement. We hope to do awesome things in retirement, but it needs to be now and then. We got to live today. Notice those sunrises, those sunsets. Love our family. Tell them we love them. Hug them tight. Maybe plan something fun to do as a family. My family, we were very poor for a while, and we played board games, both when I was growing up and now with my current family. And they're some of the best memories I have. Us just getting together and playing board games doesn't hardly cost anything. You can get board games at garage sales, right? So I just want to encourage you today. You need to be living now and then. So yes, save up for retirement. Yes, make plans for retirement, but don't assume. Don't assume you're going to get there. Don't assume you're going to be healthy enough to enjoy it. And if you are, thank God. That's wonderful. You enjoy every minute that God gives you on this planet, but you know it's temporary. You know it's not going to last. And you live now. You do the things that you feel God is wanting you to do now, not later. You do them now, and then later if you get a chance. We need to stop assuming. Stop making those assumptions. I think we need to do what James says. If God allows it, I'm going to be going camping this summer and it's going to be awesome. If God allows it, I'll have a great retirement and do this on my retirement. If it's God's will, I'm going to be doing this or that. But for today, I choose to enjoy the sunsets. I'm trying to enjoy the weather. The wind chill's -2 today, so it's a little hard. But know that I love you. Thank you for what you do for Jesus and his kids. Thank you for the ministry that you do. Try to go enjoy the now. Do the now, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. All right, have a great day. Know that I love you, and I'll see you next week on the Kidman.Ninja. Bye-bye.